Ladies and gentlemen, the year of Siege is upon us. After months of hype, weeks of testing, and just over 7 days of live action, we have finally been able to start formulating real, cogent thoughts about Rainbow Six's newest, craziest operator to date, a deathmatch mode, attacker repick, and a sea of universally applicable weapon sights. The year that's supposed to save Siege is here. It's happening. We're in it. The question is it any good? Okay, so before I start gushing endlessly about Demon Vale, I must humbly ask that all of you Siege heads out there do me and yourselves a favor and like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. The better that our Siege content does, the more of it they're gonna let me make. And trust me, I really want to make more of it. All right, let's dive in. So, for those of you who've been so busy checking your night market or whatever that you've actually missed the news, a new season has finally dawned upon the beautiful, chronically busted shooter that is Rainbow Six Siege. And let me tell you, it's the one we've been waiting for. Demon Vale. Now, I already went over what's included in this season and the Year 7 roadmap at large in my post-SI recap video. So if you're in need of a full, comprehensive preview, be sure to check it out. In the meantime, let's focus on the here and now, since from what I gather, a lot of you started reinstalling Siege once you heard that Demon Vale was going to bring us back from the brink of despair and are in need of a rundown of sorts. So let's start with the little stuff, like the weapon sights. After years of watching the community beg, Ubisoft finally made it so that all one-time sights are universal. This means that all versions of the Hollow, Red Dot, and Reflex sights are available for all operators. Oh, and the Russian ACOG is available for those who have ACOG. Of course, there's tons of debate as to which is the so-called God sight that everyone should start immediately equipping on everything, and while I am hearing a lot of people gas up the Russian Red Dot and Reflex, I am all in on the Vortex. The second the update went live, I slapped Hollow B on everything and never looked back. I have loved this sight since they launched it and have been absolutely slamming with it on the SMG-11. This sight is a beast, and I do not care who says otherwise. But it's all about preference, and as heated as the discussions as to which is better have been getting, you'll love to see it. I know it's like a really little thing, but anyone who plays a lot of Siege will tell you it makes a big difference. People are really psyched about this change, and I honestly think that it's one of the best quality of life implementations that Ubisoft has made in a long time. Next, the deathmatch mode. Look, here's the deal. At first, I really didn't like it. It kind of felt to me like Ubisoft failed to emulate the CSGO community deathmatch experience in the same way that Riot did, and that just irked me to no end. And then, the more I played it, the more I started to appreciate it. Not as like a raw aim warm-up, but rather as a sort of round simulator, where every life is treated as its own distinct take or execute or flank watch or what have you. If you haven't tried it, you should. It's really cool, and I've actually been playing a ton of it, especially since it's a very easy way to secure Battle Pass levels. Speaking of the Battle Pass, this is bar none the best Battle Pass Siege has ever had. Like, literally all of the skins are bangers, especially that Hibana set. I never knew that I needed to see Mama Hebe in a leather jacket, motorcycle helmet, and space age mom jeans, but that is certifiable queen shit. As for the ranked features, like phone verification and the new anti-toxicity measures, they're awesome, and I'm super glad they're here, but honestly, it's a little too early to tell how much of an impact they'll actually have. I feel like these are the kinds of changes that will have good impact long-term, and so we'll just have to wait and see. What else? Oh, attacker repick. For those who don't know, attackers can now repick their operators up until the end of the drone phase, but the reveal phase has been removed. This means that you have to risk drones to see what the enemy team is running and draft accordingly. Personally, and this is just my opinion, I think that this has the ability to change Siege for the better. I also think that we need to see it in action for an elongated period of time before we can form any fruitful or worthwhile opinions on it. Last, but certainly not least, the reason that a lot of you are probably watching this video. Azami. I'm sure you've all heard the stories about how Siege's newest defender boasts 5 bulletproof, wall-sized discs that spawn out of her super badass knives, and that she is the coolest, deepest, most game-changing operator ever to grace the roster of the 6. And let me be the first, or what's more likely the 71st, to tell you that she most certainly is. After only 1 week of experimenting with her, I can safely say that there is no limit to the kinds of pickles that Azami's kit can both create and get you out of.
I'm coming back to site. Just come back to site. We don't need to peek it. What are we doing? Come back.
Smoked it.
Smoking it off. Good shit, Dimitri.
From closing off breaches, hatches, and doorways, to closing off sight lines, to creating these weird, dumb off angles, this operator is essentially a one-size-fits-all wrecking ball of expressive, utility-driven ownage.
Top red. Oh, that's Therm.
I ran her on Border the other day, and let me tell you, she is a terror if you play around security. It feels like it's your world, and the attackers are just living in it.
Sledge.
Nice.
But God knows there are hundreds, if not thousands, of downright toxic hole-ups and one-ways she's able to establish. I have already been privy to some absolutely cursed site setups. Like, shit that is gonna make attackers want to straight up alt-tab out of ranked.
Yeah, I made the site. Nice.
Shit, Callie.
Oh, what the?
I can hold a big window jump in.
Oh, he's so good.
There does seem to be a feeling that she might be a little too strong. I do think 5 Kibas is probably a tad excessive, but we obviously won't know how viable she is until she's unquarantined for pro play. Until then, hop into a custom game, screw on your thinking cap, and start experimenting. She is a lot of fun. Oh, and of course, there's also the new map, Emerald Plains, which I have not had a chance to try and have no thoughts about since it hit the test server like 24 hours ago. But tons of other creators are already sharing their thoughts, so be sure to check them out. So, is Demon Vale delivering on the promise to initiate the so-called Year of Siege? I mean, honestly, yeah, it is. Look, would I have loved to see an ironclad anti-cheat released day 1? Of course. But these things take time, and I still love Siege enough that I'm willing to wait. For now, I am relishing in the fact that this season is, in fact, a banger. If you're one of those people who's wondering whether you should smash or pass, it's a smash, for sure. I am having a ball with virtually everything this season has to offer, and I can't wait to see what else this year has in store. Next, Jesus, that was very high. The best battle pass we've ever had. No cap. Literally all of the skins. I can't say no cap on camera, Danny. Who do I think I am? What do I think I'm doing here? I'm 29 years old, Danny. I can't say no cap.
Listen, one day there's gonna be pensioners saying no cap.